All right, welcome back to another episode of Fan Therapy, episode 41. Back with another episode of Fan Therapy College Football. Rolling into week 3, got a lot to talk about in week 2, some big upsets, some big games happening, some top teams looking shaky, some lower teams looking like they might come through and really just pull off some upsets, just like USF did against Florida. A lot of big games. I'm rolling with Tyler. He is the Fan Therapy College Football Analyst, tennis captain. He is a leader of men, as you know, and he is leading us through the college football season, giving us everything we need to know about the top teams, the lower teams, the players we got to watch out for, the teams we got to watch out for. He's got it all. Tyler, how you doing today, bro? Oh my goodness! Wait, 1 second. It might be my end. Let me make sure. You stopped coming through for me. Go ahead,
Hello?
talk. Oh, now
Hello?
you just started coming through again. There we go. Welcome to the show, Tyler. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, doing great. Excited to talk about
No,
last week's college football. We got another great week coming up. Ready to recap and talk about what's coming forward.
no, absolutely, absolutely. Loving the football. College football is back. NFL follow
hmm
closely behind. I am in my prime of the year, as they say, and we're kicking it off with a top team, top quarterback. Everybody was excited about, raving about. They had a tough challenge and a team that probably shouldn't have given them a challenge, and then kind of continuing that kind of stand and rolling into week 2. Tyler, what are your opinions on Michigan at this time?
Well, truly, I wasn't very high on them coming in this year. You lose
Sure.
Harbaugh a couple years ago. You bring in Sherrone Moore. He really hasn't had the same juice. You beat Ohio State last year,
Yeah.
but you have still a ton of roster turnover. Your three best players all go to the NFL. You lose a solid running back in Edwards, but
Right.
you don't really do much to, build up some of the talent on the outside because they did get I think it's Justice Haynes. No, I don't think it's him. It's oh, I'm forgetting the Michigan running back's name.
All good.
What is your name? No, it's Justice Haynes. I had that right. Dang it. But yeah, they
Catch
bring in
yourself,
Justice
bro.
Haynes from Alabama. They bring in the big gun, the big kid, Bryce Underwood, 5-star,
Right.
number one player in the country. Reclasses, comes there, huge big deal about his $10 million, and you come out flat against Oklahoma. Biggest test of the year, probably besides playing Ohio State, and they just 13 points, all scored in the third quarter. They just looked bad.
Mm.
There's no talent on the outside. Bryce Underwood 9 for 24. He looked like a true freshman playing against a very experienced Oklahoma defense with a very good defensive head coach. It just looked like it looked exactly how you imagine it would.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's definitely not what you want, especially as a big school like Michigan coming against
hmm
Oklahoma. I think it's been a while since those teams have played. Maybe I may be making that up. I don't know. But it's definitely a game that you want to win. It was definitely Bryce Underwood's kind of big debut, kind of showing to the nation.
Yep.
Do you think it could be a thing that they're just kind of letting a young coach and young quarterback kind of grow a bit? I know Michigan doesn't often work that way, but do you think kind of coming off a John Harbaugh kind of rant, it could be kind of that they're just kind of trying to let people grow and get to where they need to be? Or do you think they're gonna, if it doesn't change, they might have to make some changes at the end of this year?
They're not changing for Bryce. There's just no chance. He's the starter all year. There's the team is a team. They're 4-6 loss team. Like they're not.
Yeah.
You know, we're not talking like they had title hopes coming into the year. Their goal this year was to build up Bryce and build up his confidence, and hopefully he shows enough things to get some people to want to go to Michigan and
Mm,
catch footballs from him.
sure.
Because looking at that wide receiver room, it is bleak. It really is.
Mm,
Like 3 catches are coming from Justice Haynes. He loses 5 yards on those. Like it just doesn't. It just there's no talent out. Like again, it's not like Michigan's known for their. They're not LSU. They're not Ohio State. They're not USC. They're not
sure.
bringing in these 5-star wide receivers and stuff. So but you still need playmakers, and they just don't really have
Right.
those. I think Bryce could definitely be good. Obviously, like you have to be good to be starting as a freshman at Michigan. But he just looked all the part of being 18 years old playing against Brent
Right.
Venables that night.
Mm.
So you hope that he can gain a little more confidence and kind of look more like the quarterback from Cal,
Sure.
JVS. Like he went out there and he looked like he had been there before, and he was just slinging the rock everywhere. He
Wow.
didn't care. He trusted his arm. He was throwing it, and like it looked like he was willing to make like some big mistakes rather than Bryce, who felt like he's more afraid of making the mistake than making the play.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially from an 18-year-old. You put him in those situations, he's
Yeah.
eventually going to show. He's eventually going to show it, and then you have a young coach to kind of compile with that. It seems like everybody's growing a bit, and that can kind of lead to, I mean, growing pains. That definitely makes sense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of where they're standing in the Big Ten, are you kind of like counting them out? I know there's just such big dogs in that kind of conference that if you kind of shows early if you can hang or not. What is your opinion in terms on their stance in the Big Ten?
Tier 2, tier 3, lower tier 2, high tier 3
Fair. Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Like they're obviously not tier 1. They're not Penn State, they're not Oregon, they're not Ohio State. They're not competing with those three teams. I love Illinois this week just put 42 points on a good
I watched that game.
BSU
Yeah.
team. So I don't think they're in Illinois. Wisconsin's Wisconsin's not very good this year. Minnesota's okay. I like Minnesota's young quarterback. I like PJ Fleck. But again, they haven't shown much. Cal, true freshman quarterback, just like them. USC,
Mhm.
really, again, it is a rebuilding year for USC, but it's Lincoln Riley, so he can always put up points. So yeah, I would say tier 2, tier 3 school like right now, but
Yeah.
they have a diamond at quarterback, and that's the thing. College football, you get a 5-star? Is he a 5-star in college? If he is, great. If he's not, then they're gonna keep on moving.
Yeah.
They're just gonna find the next one.
Absolutely. I think that is one of the most interesting things about me in college football, and
Mhm.
especially the transfer portal era. I think that
Mhm.
just makes that so much more possible for
Yeah.
teams to just move on and move through. I think, yeah, that definitely a loss to Oklahoma is definitely not something you want, but as we've seen,
Mhm.
there's worse teams that you could lose to at this point in the season. Shifting on to just a truly an upsetting upset. I'm very sure Florida, very similar. He's not a freshman, but young quarterback that they're excited to have in Lagway. They play. I don't even know if they. I truly don't even know if they consider that a rivalry down there. But USF comes in and pulls off the major upset to an in-state, another in-state school. USF's on top of the world. Florida seems left picking up the scraps of what they were said to have at the beginning of the year. What's your opinion on this one?
Loved DJ Lagway a lot, but he
Hmm.
still has the same issue with turnovers. Like, and they just offense, they don't put up points. They only scored 16 points against USF. You scored 7 points in the
It's
second half
crazy.
against a group of 5 school, and you have a monster at quarterback. You're littered with weapons. Vernal Brown the third, Eugene Wilson are both really good, solid wide receivers. The running back room's okay, but at the same time, you still have Lagway, so there's always a threat of him using his legs, and it doesn't look good. And
They
this
were home
has to be
too.
huh?
They were home too.
Yeah, this has to be the nail in the coffin, though.
Mm,
Billy Napier's got to like the boosters has to be calling for Billy Napier's head at this point because like they have the talent.
tough
You have
one.
to beat USF at home. Like you genuinely just have to. I mean, it's not to take away from the fact that USF I do think is actually a pretty good team. They look like probably one of the best group of
Sure,
5 teams right now. Well, probably
sure.
actually no, they are the best group of 5 team. This is 2 back-to-back weeks against ranked teams beating them. It's not like Boise State, they handed them. Like they handled them easily. This game again, like they were down 9-6 at half, and they just went. They scored the same amount of points. Like they just, I don't know. I don't know what Florida did. I really don't. I don't know how
That was
Florida
the
lost.
game Bill Belichick was looking for, 9-6 at halftime. That's what Bill was going for. No, that's definitely a tough one to take. I mean, I think what do you think was? Did you watch that one? What do you think was lacking? Was the big key for them in that one?
I don't even know if it was much of lacking on Florida. They just again they don't move the ball. There's no they didn't score. You have to again, this sounds stupid,
Yeah.
but you have to score to win. You can't score 16 points in a game and expect to win. That's exactly what USF wanted. They needed what USF needed was a low scoring game, and that gave them the best shot to win. They could not afford a shootout against Florida. But I think a lot of it has to be talked about. Byram Brown, the quarterback at USF,
Okay.
now against two ranked opponents, he has 473 yards on 65% completion percentage and 109 yards on the ground with 3 total touchdowns. Like he's looked really good. He's looked like a dynamic player. He now showed against a very good group of 5 team. Now he showed against a Power 5 team. Good player, good team. USF definitely could make the playoff if they keep playing the way they're playing.
No, that's really crazy. Yeah, I'm sure that's a great dub in their what they needed to get into that 12-team playoff. I'm sure they're making a great case right now and just kind of gotta win out the rest of the way. I don't know what their schedule is looking like, but I'm sure it was built for it to get this win and then just sustain the rest of the year and get in. I'm sure that was exactly what it looked like. So I'm sure that's a big check in their process and plans for the year. And Florida is going to be digging up from what they built themselves under. So let's see how that one shakes out. Down to a team you're disappointed in, to a team you love. Oregon, they kicked off their year. You saying you're like in the running back room. You mentioned, is there a wide receiver that you like there? You mentioned, or was it like kind of a group deal there? How are you feeling about them?
Well, I want to preface Oregon is. I understand the opponents we've played. We've played an FCS team in Montana State,
Sure,
and then probably one of the worst Power 5 teams in Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
but it is the way that they are winning these football games is beyond sustainable. I think they have 7 running backs with a carry, and 4 of them are like legit like number 1 guys. They have true freshman wide receiver Decoria Moore. I think is the most dynamic player outside of like Jeremiah Smith in the country right now. He is so fast. Like he's effortlessly fast. He reminds me so much of like Odell, where he looks like he's gliding on ice. He is so it takes 0 effort for him to be fast. Couple that with Dante Moore standing in the pocket, waiting, going through his reads and delivering the ball. I love this team. I love Dan Lanning. I love the O-line. I love the defense. They haven't given me a single reason not to love what they're doing right now. And I'm excited. This is the best. I'm ready to say this might be the best Oregon team I've ever seen because they are just so good. Kenyon Sadiq, best tight end in the country, maybe a top 10 pick in the NFL. Just how athletic he is.
Wow, I think that's definitely crazy. That's something crazy to hear. Definitely very happy for that's your squad and everything. It seems like they got some. I don't want to say tune-up games. Northwestern Oregon State rivalry. What kind of weight are you putting on that Oregon Penn State game? What do you think? You think is that like a title eliminator? Is that conference championship? How are you looking at that one?
With the way the playoff is, Oregon can obviously both Oregon and Penn State can afford to lose that game.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
but I obviously don't want to lose that game. I want to go undefeated again. That was fun. But looking at the schedule beyond that, the only good team they play again was Indiana the next week.
Sure.
But you lose your get back game, Indiana, Kirk Kennedy. Sorry, that's a loss for you. Easy. Walk through them. Albeit the Rutgers game, they're going to win that easily. Wisconsin, easy. Fair Iowa, point. Easy. Minnesota, easy. So, again, they lose to Penn State. They're a one-loss team. They're making the playoff. You beat Penn State, you're the number 1 team in the country instantly. I don't see an argument to where you can not put them after beating. Again, Oklahoma State's not good, but they scored 69 points.
Right.
That's so crazy. They started the game they had 3 plays. One was a run for 1 yard. One was a run 55-yard touchdown. And the third play was a 60-yard touchdown. That was their first 3 plays of the game. I just think they're so good. They're so much fun.
I think they're really proving, and I think it's really showing because every time I hear anytime about, it probably shows the media I watch. Obviously, Brent comes into account, but anytime I hear about 5-star recruit, number one at his position, something like that. Lately, they've been going to Oregon, so I think
It's
everything is really coming together for that program for sure.
it's the landing effect. The guy
Yeah.
is a motivator. People want to play for him.
Mhm.
He believes in his guys. He's able to get them going, and he's got Oregon playing back to like our old ways with Chip Kelly on offense, where it's fast, it's a track team, we're running the ball. We got
Yeah,
big guys up front, and we got fast guys
absolutely.
everywhere else. But on defense, he's brought that Georgia mentality of hit him in the mouth. And we've got Mateo Ugalongole, we've got Bryce Botcher, we've got
Yeah,
Dylan Diamond, and we have some of the best DBs in the country. And like they're playing hard. That's the thing. It's like Oregon always we
sure.
hand up. They had soft defenses. Pac-12 soft. Get it. But now Dan Lanning has brought an edge to this team that is insane to see. I'm so excited. That Penn State game is going to be so much fun. We're going to walk into Happy Valley. Dante Moore, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. We're going to blow them out. We're going to send them all home crying, all wearing their white shirts and whatever. And it's going to be a great day. And Oregon's be on top, number one in the country. We're going to run the gauntlet again, and we're not going to get
Man,
blown up by Ohio State this time.
I'm rooting for y'all. I think the last part I'm not rooting for y'all, but I think a lot of that is very possible. I am very very fond of what Dan Lanning's doing over there at Oregon. I like how
Yeah.
he's getting all the recruits in, and it's showing, especially what they've built so far is showing improving. From what I've seen, I think they're definitely capable of making it all the way, and even winning that game. I think they've seen Jeremiah Smith one time, so who knows when they see him a second time. I'm sure they might rather a different road to it, but
No more,
let's see. Let's see.
up with Jeremiah Smith, please. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen anybody do. But we all make mistakes.
No doubt. Absolutely. I'm sure they very much so learn. Sticking with the routine of ebbs and flows, we got Michigan, Florida, back up to Oregon, and now we're kind of coming back down to a team we might be a little bit shaky on, Clemson. Yeah, it's exactly what you told me. You said you feel Clemson's looking a bit shaky. They had Cade Klubnik, the quarterback, coming in. Everybody was excited to see. Everybody's talking about one of the I feel like there was 3 to 5 quarterbacks I've been hearing about coming in the season. Cade was definitely at that top 3, maybe top 2 ranking. But yeah, you're telling me they're looking shaky in your opinion. What are your opinions on them right now?
So they lose to LSU, right? At
Sure.
home. Tough loss. Cade Klubnik, 230 yards. You weren't able to run the ball at all. Your defense looked all the part of top 10 defense that you've been told that you have,
Sure.
right? You get your get back week against Troy. Big coming back to Death Valley, home game. This is it. You start off the game down 16-3 at half. However, they had like many rain delays and weather delays, whatever. But still, 16.
Sure.
You're down
Gotcha.
16-3 to Troy. You were 27-point favorites, and you're down 16-3 to Troy. How do you throw an interception to Troy?
Quarterback's
it was
hard,
just
man.
like it was just like it made no sense. A 44-yard touchdown to start off the game, and then you miss a kick, and that can become no they didn't miss a kick. The pick six. Cape Klubnik throws a pick six, and you're like, what the heck? It made no sense. They're just undisciplined. I think that's the best way to put it. They're playing some undisciplined football. They looked like they knew that the opponents, like the thing with the thing with some of these games is either teams come out and they blow them out, or teams come out flat and the other team gets a shot at you. And Troy got their right hook and left hook in, and it shook Clemson, but it didn't shake them enough because then they only put up 24 points in the second. You had a whole half of football, and you go score 24 points against Troy.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's just again, they looked undisciplined. Their offensive line continues. I think this could be a real problem for them going forward.
Yeah.
Cade, he did enough to win, but at some point you need Cade Klubnik to do more than just enough to win.
Sure. Yeah, I think that leads me honestly into my next question. Do you think kind of like the mindset of their conference? I know every game's hard. Every team has really good players, but there's no such thing as stumbling through the SEC, and the Big Ten is pretty close to it.
No.
So do you think there's some of that sense, you think that's why maybe when they reach bowl season, they can tend to maybe like they meet a Texas like last year, they didn't get handled, but they lose. Do you think kind of like they're that playing in the CC can kind of tamper your ability to really prep for that harsh bowl season in January on?
I mean, the ACC is well documented now that like it really isn't that like again, Clemson's schedule after this is Georgia Tech, Syracuse, UNC. Like the next ranked team they play is Florida State. But again,
Sure.
Florida State could win against Alabama. Am I buying into them fully as a top 10 team? Probably not. Because am I
Right.
buying into Bama as a top 10 team? Probably not.
Yeah. Florida and South
But
Carolina seem like the only ranked teams they'll see for the rest of the season right now.
yeah, so like Louisville's solid. SMU was solid. They lost to Baylor in overtime on
Sure.
probably one of the craziest games I've ever watched.
Mm,
Duke, Clemson, like Duke, okay. Like again, this is the thing with like the thing. This is my thing with Clemson is they can win the ACC by just doing enough.
right. Right.
Right,
Right.
doing enough is beating Troy 27-16.
Yeah.
Doing enough is only losing to LSU by one score, but you put up a fight and your defense looks good. Like at some point, we need to see the Deshaun Watson and the Trevor Lawrence days of Clemson, where they're going out there and they're putting 75 points on Troy's head,
Yeah.
or they're going out there and the
I
LSU
fully
Clemson
agree.
game looks like a battle of Spartans. Like that's the thing with Clemson. I know the fans probably feel similar that they need to all we hear about is how good they are. Show it. Show it. Beat up somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think that makes a lot of sense, and kind of just when you see the layout of their schedule, and then I'm looking like back into even like last year, it just seems like their road just they don't really get the calluses and the bruises that other teams pick up
Mm-hmm.
and learn to overcome when it's time. I mean, like you can overcome that 7 or 14 points against a Troy, but if Texas gets up on you 14, they're just going to hand the
It's
ball off
over.
for
Game's over.
for
Yeah.
50 minutes and get out of there. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Especially
definitely
if you
a
can't
very
keep
good
club
point
good
you bring up.
standing. They
Yeah,
their old line doesn't look good.
sure.
It looked shaky against LSU, and I'm like, it doesn't look good. You
Hit
gotta
that
keep them
transfer
standing. But at
portal,
the same time,
Clemson.
that's so funny. But like at the same time, when Klubnik has time, he has to make the throws and he has to be a big time player. And I
Sure.
haven't seen it. And jury's out. I guess he's got to show it.
Oh, absolutely. I think now, definitely from what you said, I think that's going to be a team I'm definitely keeping my eye on. I think coming out of this
Mhm.
game, going on to the rest of the season, they're about 12 now. I don't remember what they started at, but I think it was a much friendlier number. But I'm sure they'll be working to keep that number higher and higher as the weeks go on.
They were top
Speaking
five.
about top five, yeah, figured.
Yeah.
Speaking, I mean, that LSU loss, they got to put them somewhere, but still, you gotta regain those with performances. You got to convince the
Yeah.
committee, and there's different committees that we're trying to convince, as we've seen this past week. You're trying to convince a different
Oh my
level of
gosh.
people, speaking on different opinions on the game from different
Yeah.
experiences, but that is the game we
Gotta
play
convince
and
people to go
love.
and watch the game somehow.
We've been talking about Cade. We've been talking about Bryce. Another quarterback that we got some more positive things to say. I would say about again that ebbs and flows. We're back up a little higher. Devin Dampier, a quarterback, right? Quarterback that you like,
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
play. How are you feeling about him out of Utah? You've been watching him. How you feel about his game?
So he transferred from New Mexico to Utah.
Sure.
And Utah's had Cam Rising for like the last 70
Right.
years, it feels like,
Mm-hmm.
right? This kid can ball. And it's like it reminds me of like the old college quarterbacks that like a Dylan Gabriel type where it's like, he looks really, really good in college and it's really fun the way he plays football because it's like
Sure.
it's old college football. Last year at New Mexico, he had 12 touchdowns with 12 interceptions. Not good. However, he had 19 rushing touchdowns.
Mm,
With 1,100 yards, he averaged 7.5 yards a carry. This year at Utah, he already has 400 passing yards with 112 rushing yards and 6 total touchdowns with 0 turnovers.
wow.
And I think he has multiple 50-yard touchdowns. I could be wrong about that, but he's just like a big time play. He's making big time plays.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. He's everything we love about college football. He's a mobile quarterback. He's doing it all for Utah. It's so much fun. His story's great. You start off in a lower school, you play some snaps your freshman year, sophomore you come out, you have turnover problems, doesn't matter. Utah picks you up, and you're balling.
Oh,
It's awesome. I just love watching him. He's so much fun. He's so fast. He's short too, 5'11".
that's why I was looking up his his
Yeah,
stats 5'11", 209. Yeah, not a big guy.
yeah.
Definitely seems like very exciting to watch. I'll try to lock in, figure out where Utah's playing this weekend.
Oh, dude,
see
he's
see
so
where
much
I can
fun.
watch that.
He reminds me a lot of
I was about to say comps. What comps you got?
like Johnny Manziel esque,
Yeah,
where it's like
I was
he's
gonna
just
say ask
making
you about that.
plays. Yeah, he's just making plays, and it's sick. It's so
That's
sick to watch, and he's just got these big, strong arm, just letting it rip like Cam Ward esque, where he's willing to just
that's
let the
tough.
ball rip, and then at the same time he's like running around, he's scrambling, he's running guys over. He's awesome. I love Dampier.
Love to see it, Devin
I'm on the Dampier
Dampier.
Heisman train. Even though I'm
Yeah,
a huge Utah fan, but
remember the name. Remember the name. Watch him pick up.
mhm.
Maybe I don't know 5'11". Maybe we'll see him playing on Sunday somehow, some way. Praying for him. But yeah, moving on again. This is the ebbs and flows
Oh
of this
my
episode,
gosh,
highs and lows.
yeah.
Back it down further. I mean, we're talking about quarterbacks we love. I think this fits amongst the Cam Rising quarterbacks that's been playing for a minute. K-State, they didn't have the start they'd wanted. Play a tougher team, abroad even. But now they've come back with another L. It looks like. How you feeling about this team right now, Tyler?
I think they just stink. You're 6.5 points favorite against Army, and you lose.
Yeah.
And you get to, you just straight up lost. Like it's crazy. Like they're just not. I just don't think they're that good of a team. They're coming in.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my gosh, they got Big 12 championship. Hopeful, and they got this, and they got we're going to win the playoff or shoot. They're shooing for the playoff, and they just stink. 1-12, 1-12,
Yeah.
1-2 in the Big 12.
It was between them
Avery
and
Johnson looks
probably
okay.
right. Right. It was
He looks
between them and
okay.
Iowa State, right? For this division mainly. That's what it looked like
That's what it
for
was
this
in the
conference.
beginning, but now it's
Right. It's
they're
gonna be
definitely
different.
out.
Like Texas
Yeah,
Tech or something like Texas Tech still there? No, Texas Tech not there.
Texas Tech is still there.
University.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay,
they
good.
have all the money in the world.
That's good. That's
It's now
good.
it's Iowa State, Arizona, BYU.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean Utah. No, Utah. I lied. Devin Dampier.
Texas Tech's not in the mix. Are they not in the are they in the conference or no?
I mean
Am I
Texas
getting
Tech
that
is
wrong?
Texas Tech is in the Big 12,
But they're
but
not in
I
the
don't know
mix
if
for
you count.
the
I don't know if you
champs?
count games against Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Kent State as qualified wins for anything.
But they got the numbers still. They gotta
Yeah, but Justin, I can't explain to you how bad Kent State is and how bad Arkansas Pine Bluff is.
I get it, but maybe some of these other teams needed, like a Michigan. Maybe a Michigan needed that team second game to get their quarterback
Like a
kind of.
Kent State,
That's what
maybe, but like
maybe.
they're bad. Like those
Maybe they got
Arkansas
the
Pine
game
Bluff
plan.
bad. But they play
No.
Utah in 2 weeks, so that's a good test for Texas
Okay,
Tech and Utah. That's a fun game. But yeah,
gotcha.
no, Kansas State season's dead. You can't lose to Army and try to convince me
Right.
that you're back. Like that's crazy. You lost to an academy. That'd be the good academy. Like I do think Navy's probably the better football team. So like
Sure.
you lose to the worst academy. You know, and the Big 12 is so much fun preseason because like I could have said, hey, I think Baylor is going to win the Big 12, and it would have been just as much as someone saying Iowa State. Because you can't tell. You just cannot tell. They're all right here, and then slowly they go like this, and then someone goes whoop,
Somebody
and
just
these teams
drops.
get worse. No team gets better. It's just like so funny.
Man,
Yeah, no, they're
I've,
done. Season's done. Avery Johnson, see you next year, pal. Hope
no,
your brother and
yeah.
your dad are.
I was about to say they had a very interesting start to the year. I don't think it's gonna get much better from here. But
No.
moving on to a team that honestly I kind of like this team. I just like their vibe about them. But right now they're kind of lax according to our college football analyst, Tyler LSU DBU wide receiver. How you feeling about them at the moment?
It's kind of I feel them and Clemson. I feel nearly the same about right.
Okay,
Like LSU, they get the win against Clemson. They come back. They get you get your chance. You get your shot at like a
third team in the country you're talking about right now.
yeah. I know, but you get your shot at a bad team, and you show me what 23-7.
Hmm.
Like this is the thing about college football. It's different than like the NFL. Like the NFL, 23-7 is a big win. college football, we're watching Oregon beat Oklahoma State
Yeah.
69-3. Like
Yeah,
you
because the
need
clock
to
stops
put,
every other possession, every
yeah,
other play.
you need to put your stamp on it when there's a team that is considerably worse than you.
Yeah,
Nussmeier throws the ball 41 times and he only has 237 yards.
right.
That is insane. That would never happen to Joe Burrow LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they're a good team. Really, 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 really good defense. That defense is incredible. Harold Perkins, one of the best players in the country. He's so good. He's back. It's awesome to see him back from injury, playing like he played his freshman year. Very cool. But on offense, Nuss bus. It may be the the Nuss bus is mid. That's what it is. It's what it's going to be.
Mm.
Like I hope they prove me wrong. I like LSU. I liked him a lot in the preseason. I mean, they're gonna. Who they got this week? They got Florida. Wow, that would be crazy. Imagine that.
I was just about to say Florida's gonna come hungry.
It
they're gonna
isn't.
want that.
It isn't
That
Baton
could.
Rouge though.
That's true. But a win in Baton Rouge could put them right back to where they want to
But
be.
when in Baton Rouge, put Florida one. I don't care if they lost at USF.
That's
If
what I'm
Florida
saying. They're
goes in
gonna
there and
and
beats
but
LSU by
if they're
multiple scores, put them one. Put them
I mean,
one.
they're coming off say like the worst loss they could probably pick out on their schedule. And then
Yeah.
they have the quarterback. I mean, if Lagway just outplays Nussmeier, I know there's so much in the game.
That would be
The
crazy.
defense are gonna play, but if that happens, like they're right back to where they need to. That would be very, very crazy.
LSU is open as a 9.5-point favorite.
I was about to say, do you think LSU is gonna really just
Cover
handle
that?
them?
Yeah. I mean, 9.5 feels easy.
Sure.
That feels easy there because I don't believe in lagways. I don't think 7:30 nighttime game in Death Valley, coming off a loss against USF. I do not think that's a good bounce back spot at all. There's not a single team in the country that would be like, yes, they're gonna go in there and win. I wouldn't take Oregon to win in Death. Yes, I would, but I wouldn't take anybody else to win.
Yeah, that's a game everybody's watching. Sometimes people like Lagway. That's just what they need to really just come out and really just do. But we'll see. We'll see. I honestly, from what I've seen from Florida, I think LSU will handle them just fine. But
yeah,
I would love to see Florida make that a game and maybe
that would be crazy. That would be the
be
craziest thing that's happened all season. Fun. And we literally had
crazier than Florida.
No. That's not the best upset. We haven't talked about the best upset yet.
Gotcha. Is it?
Yes. Yes.
There we go.
That was
Mississippi State. Get into it.
That was the best win. I can't think of a better win now off the top of my head. It was so much fun. Between Kenny Dillingham saying that, Starkville is like some just dump and they couldn't even find a hotel to go to, and like just trashing the entire town that Mississippi State's based in, to them going in there and just being flat, to the craziest end to a game ever. 3rd and 9. Arizona State cover 0. Mississippi State drops back, hits a dart, 60-yard walk-off touchdown. Are you joking me? Are you kidding me? Like, that was the coolest thing I think I've ever seen, especially for that program, because,
who created this game for Arizona State? I don't know why they would do this to themselves. Like they're just becoming a team that people are hunting, and then you're just gonna go like, why go to Mississippi? Like, why go there?
I don't know.
But
Blake Shapen just outplayed.
That's what I'm saying. It's a tough place to play. Easily. I even know that. I mean,
all the SEC at night. Every SEC State midnight's tough.
Sure.
Absolutely. Besides Vanderbilt, because they're too busy studying. But
fair. But Mississippi State is like that. That really is known for like that. That's the Cowboy school, right? They got the Cowboys that are going crazy.
Yes, it's Starkville. They go nuts.
Absolutely. Who made the schedule for Arizona State? This is the first year teams are really going to be hunting you down, and you go into Mississippi like that. I actually saw this game beforehand, and I was like, I truly did not know much about Arizona State and their players, but I was like, just the optics, I don't like this at all. And then what you said about, even if I knew I don't bet. If I knew the coach was talking like that, I would have texted you to throw some bets down for me. That's absolutely nuts. But
it was, the game was awesome. The crowd was awesome. The crowd reaction to that touchdown is top 10 college football moment. The whole stadium goes nuts. Cowboys are going crazy. This guy's running the end zone. This guy's arms out. He just walked it off. He looks Brennan Thompson, the guy who walked it off, may be the fastest player in college football besides every Oregon receiver, but he is so fast. He was gone in a lightning. Like it was gone. But happy for Mississippi State. Blake Shapen, really good. It's upset. It sucks for the program because they're still trying to bounce back because their coach died right in the middle of this whole transfer portal era thing. So like they were behind.
Crazy, yeah.
They have the boosters maybe to like kind of jumpstart the program a little bit. It looks like it's happening. It'd be fun for them to be good. They're a fun team.
Absolutely.
Would love Mississippi State, Ole Miss rivalry to come back. So I'd love somebody else to mix the SEC just because I think it'd be fun if the SEC they all end up with like 5 losses. But that was probably my favorite game this weekend.
No, I think
Oregon,
I think with transfer portal area, I think SEC is really going to be a conference that could just get some some unexpected change to it. I think a lot of players are going to want to be in there. That's where a lot of the eyes are going to be to get to the next level.
Yep.
So you're going to get like a skill player that's going to go to a Mississippi State for some playing time.
Yep.
Ole Miss has gotten skill players for time again. So they've been able to recruit over. So I think that's going to be really something exciting to see.
It looks like it's going to even out where the Big Ten becomes very top heavy. And the SEC just becomes like this NFL-esque gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because guys don't care. Guys want to go to Missouri.
They're trying to get paid. They're just trying to get paid.
They'd rather go to Mississippi State than go to Minnesota.
Sure.
So like they'd rather go to these like mid-level more SEC teams because you're right, the eyes are there. Everyone they love football down there. The nation's always going to cover Missouri over Minnesota or over at this point even over like a UCLA because like college football is that area. So if guys can get there,
agreed.
You got a better shot at making some of it than going to say again like a Utah, sadly.
Exactly. No. 100% agreed. I think that's something we're gonna say. I think it's gonna be very exciting for the sport. And I think even the other conferences will have their own intricacies that make it interesting.
Yeah.
I think we wrapped up week 2 amazingly. Thank you, Tyler. In terms of week 3, is there a matchup you're looking for? Take your time if you need it. Is there a key matchup going in? Is there a player that is coming against a team that you really want to see if he can kind of pull it off against? Are we looking for a quarterback like Underwood to come back and do his thing, Florida to bounce back against a tough team like LSU? What are you thinking?
I do think that the LSU game should be kind of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Because again, it's just nighttime in Baton Rouge. I don't care if they're playing Kent State; it's still fun, you know. Games right now, biggest game of the week is going to be Georgia Tennessee. 2 teams that really haven't been talked about a lot. I think.
I agree. I was thinking about that.
Joey Aguilar is doing really well in that Tennessee offense. So that's going to be fun to watch. Georgia, they've kind of had 2 cream puff games, but the thing with Kirby Smart is he's like, 1-23 against the spread when he's like a 38-point favorite. So he just never covers when he's a big favorite. So that's not new. Their defense looks like, like Georgia.
Absolutely. Is there
other than that, the biggest game, USF get another ranked opponent. They go to Miami.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry,
I lost you.
No, you're good. You froze a little bit where you were so good. We could hear you the whole time.
Okay.
In terms of, I was just about to ask Georgia, how's that quarterback looking? We were talking about Stockton in our last episode. How's he?
No, I really haven't watched them much because they've been playing. They played Austin Peay in the first game.
That's what I'm saying. Michigan should have done that.
I don't have CBS Plus. I can watch that.
That is so incredibly fair.
Other games, USF Miami, that's a big one everyone's talking about. Notre Dame's gonna play their second game of the year, play Texas A&M. Texas A&M 2-0, Notre Dame 0-1. Notre Dame, fans are pretty upset they didn't hand the ball to Jeremiah Love a lot last time. So let's see if maybe they could do something. Another one, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. Vanderbilt.
Gotcha.
Diego Pavia could do it.
Really?
Could be okay. Spot. Yeah, I think that could be an upset spot right there. 4.5 points.
South Carolina was looking shaky.
That could be a good spot.
One team I kind of like just how they're playing. I think obviously I think we're talking about like getting wins against tough teams and cooking the teams you're going to cook. I honestly like what Miami has been showing. I know it's the beginning. I just like how they've been just doing what they're supposed to do. I think there was a lot of
Mhm.
negatives going in there, especially their quarterback
Yeah.
coming into the year. So it's cool just to see them keep a calm head and just do what they're supposed to do. And let's see if they do it against the 18th South Florida next week. I think they've got a ranked team coming in now.
Yeah.
That wasn't ranked before, so
If
they can add a ranked win to their belt.
like if USF beats Miami, you have to like put USF in the top 5, right?
That's what I'm saying. Where are they?
Like they're 18th right now, but if they
That's
beat Miami, that's a 5th ranked team. They just beat Florida and they beat Boise State. So they've got the best resume.
I
They've
was
beat
gonna
3
say
ranked teams.
Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, LSU. I'm watching those games, but USF versus
USF Miami.
Miami could be some great college playoffs.
Fun fact
Rankings
about
there.
this game: ESPN tried to get game day here, and
Um,
Miami plays at the Hard Rock, the Dolphin Stadium.
oh, so they can't.
And since Miami technically leases the stadium, they couldn't get the approval to have game day there.
Wow, I'm sure ESPN is so mad about that right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, I'd be pissed,
Whoever
dude.
came up with that idea had the foresight, some good foresight there. I'd be kicking and screaming about that. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they tried to get it there, and they just said no,
Wow,
you can't. Crazy
man.
move,
Well,
but
no,
they don't get
absolutely. We
lawyers
got a
involved.
we got a wild week 3 ahead of us. So excited, Tyler. I'm even more excited
Thrilled.
than I was before. So thank you for sharing this insight all about college football. Really couldn't do it without you whatsoever. So thank you. Anything else to get off our hearts and minds before we wrap this one up?
Temple plus the money against Oklahoma.
There we go. There we go.
The Owls are back. We're back, baby.
What's the term? Trailing and betting. Trail Tyler. He'll get you some money. Is
Oh,
that what it's
tail,
called?
tail me.
Tail, not trail. Yeah, tail Tyler. You get some bread. Yeah, that's everything we got. Like, comment, subscribe. College football week 3 ahead. Yeah, football's back. Loving it. Prime.
Thrilled.
Love the fall. I'm a fall girly when football's on. We love to see it. Yeah, that's all we got. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all watching, and